Hello and welcome to the Eurogamer show, a quick blast of insight and intrigue every single Friday.
Yep, it's all very interesting, blah blah blah. Can we please wrap this up? I want to get back to Bloodborne.
Nice to see you too. Coming up this week, Donlan, Martin, Aoife, Bloodborne, Ian, PlayStation Home, Bloodborne.
But before all that, Chris sat down to pick over the desiccated carcass of the past week with editorial vultures Tom and Wes. Hey, did you say Bloodborne?
Yes, I did say Bloodborne. Should I be worried about you?
Bloodborne.
Video games this week. What's happened? Tom Phillips.
Nintendo Direct has been going on.
Excellent.
And that is very exciting.
Yeah, it was on April Fool's Day as well, which is...
it was. People weren't sure whether it was a joke or not, but there we go.
What were the
Nintendo.
announcements like? Anything?
There were a few things. Yeah, they announced some new release dates. They announced a real focus on Mario Kart and Smash.
Well, they made Mario Kart faster.
I think it's cool that they're bringing both free and paid for stuff to both games. So, you know, there's amiibos and add-on content that you can buy, extra characters and
Treating
stuff.
them like platforms, perhaps.
Yeah.
Which is what you said to me earlier and I've just stolen. Excellent.
No, that's true. Yeah.
And what else? I saw something about new amiibos.
Yeah, so new amiibo for Smash Splatoon and Yoshi. And what's exciting about the Yoshi ones is that they are made of wool.
They are not. That is crazy.
How do they stand up?
That's an excellent question.
So it's just imagine like that, but it's got a sort of
wool
body sock coating of wool.
Oh, so it's hard underneath, but woolly on the outside.
Just like Nintendo. Fire Emblem is delayed, right?
Yeah.
That's sad.
I know.
2016.
Well, you're upset, I know.
I've just started playing Awakening. I mean, I'm so far behind the curve, it's embarrassing.
But you've already said you're going to play it again.
Yeah,
so
I have to play it several times before the sequel comes out. So that's a shame. Is those the big things?
They announced this weird Animal Crossing changing rooms, home improvement style game with card amiibo.
Are you sure this wasn't
April
Fool's?
Amiibo.
This feels like April Fool's.
No, it's real.
Okay, good.
What's card amiibo?
So they're sort of cheaper versions of amiibo, which are based on card. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, that was an exciting way to leave Nintendo Direct. Did you see anything else throughout the week? You're a big fan of April Fools, right? Anything going on there? Super Hot meets Quake. That was particularly good.
I don't think the games really understand April Fools very well.
Really?
It's supposed to be like pranks.
Yeah.
But most of the April Fools are just crap. Blizzard does decent April Fools.
Yep.
Yeah, they did a World of Warcraft Tinder thing, which they teased. That was fun.
That sounds like tomfoolery. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anything else this week that's worth mentioning? Still very Bloodborne focused, right?
It is very Bloodborne focused.
Everyone on my PlayStation 4 friends list is playing it pretty much.
What about
Not
Bloodborne?
Destiny.
Has anyone here played Bloodborne?
No.
Excellent. Well, that's really useful. Thankfully, I think Aoife has, so maybe she'll have something to say later in the show.
Christian Donlan and Martin Robinson, you have both been playing Bloodborne, am I correct?
Yes, you are.
Excellent. Yeah. Without any spoilers, how far into it would you say you are?
I personally, I put 2 days in, but they were 2 extremely intense days, and I'm about 30 hours in. And yeah, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I think I'm about halfway through the game though. Is this to say that I'm in a forest? Can I say that?
Yes, I think that's all right.
Oh my god, there's a forest in this game.
Spoilers!
Ruined it for me.
Chris, where are you up to with the game?
I am in Yarnum. So I can't spoil anything because I've put about 2 or 3 hours into it. But I think it's been replaying the first 20 minutes of the game just to try and get a feel for it and to kind of learn all of the terrible things I'm doing incorrectly.
So, because you said you actually haven't played any of the Souls games before.
No, I've dipped in and out of them. I really love them in theory, and I used to have many great lunches with Simon Parkin, when he would kind of tell me about all of the systems that were unfolding. But I could never get over the medieval aspect of them. I just don't like wearing a suit of armour in a game.
It's interesting because I've kind of been following Bloodborne's release over Twitter, and the people playing it, a lot of people are saying that the Souls games never really piqued their interest, but a lot of people are getting into it fresh with Bloodborne and getting really into it, and I kind of thought maybe that was, the combat system isn't quite as difficult to get a hang of, but maybe it is the aesthetic of it as well.
I miss the medieval part of it a little bit, and I'm not such a big keen on like Victoriana stuff. Slowly, I'm warming to it. Do you think the combat is more accessible in Bloodborne then than in Dark Souls?
Well, whenever I speak to someone about Bloodborne, the thing they always ask me, the first question inevitably is it as hard as Dark Souls? And I kind of never know what to say apart from it's not more difficult or easier. It's kind of just different, you know? Like, Souls was always about defense, you know. Most players had a tendency to turtle, you know, to sort of hide behind the shield, hit and then back away. But in Bloodborne, that's just a death sentence, you know. If you're not on the offense all the time, you know, you're going to get into trouble. And I think maybe that's just a more transferable system that, you know, most games are about offense. Most games you can get by if you just are attacking all the time. That's not to say there isn't any strategic value to Bloodborne. I mean, I think there absolutely is. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah, totally. You can go into any fight, can like flailing around, and you'll generally do alright. Whereas obviously you have to be a bit more reserved in Dark Souls, which I generally find easier because I always play games like Shield Up and I'm super slow and super boring.
Chris, as a sort of a Souls virgin, how are you finding the world, and sort of has it really? Do you feel like you want to play more?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it really. I've been told by everyone that these are hard games, and I don't think that's quite accurate. It feels more that they're just extremely exacting. Like, you have to be very precise, and you have to treat every moment as if it is. You have to be present for every moment of it.
Yes.
And for me, what it's finding is I am struggling with the combat because of bad habits I've built up in other I say other ARPGs. This barely feels like an action RPG. It really feels like its own thing, sort of devoid of genre. Mm-hmm. But what keeps me going is that sense of the combat is very satisfying when you start to get it right. But also, it's a world where you just want to know what's around the next corner, even if it's just for the sheer visual pleasure of it.
The real thing that I love about these games is the how the world sort of folds into itself, and how every path kind of leads back to somewhere you found before. Even if, like, you know, the areas you get to later, there's only one lantern, but the shortcuts you open up to get back to it, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful design.
That is ingenious, isn't it? It's like they're like electrical circuit boards. You feel like lots of kind of recurrence going on, and it is incredible just to see these kind of oxbow lakes created, and for areas which were seemingly distant to kind of tie themselves together. Just like you said, it's just amazing.
It's amazing that it does it all without a map as well. I know it's a silly thing which you'd never expect to see in there, but it's kind of one of those kind of omissions that not that you could ever imagine a Souls game with a mini map, but so many games will have more hand holding like that, and the fact that you're completely left to devise your own path right now and memorise these places just gives you so much more of a sense of intimacy with them.
And it means you're actually looking at things as well, as opposed to looking at them on a map. Everything is so just so wonderfully rich.
That's a great point as well about, like what you said, Aoife, about you. It is one of those games where you are reminded constantly to be in the present, and a map would destroy that, and sort of open tutorials would destroy that. So everything is just implicit and unfolds through the game itself. Like the Yharnam is one of the great tutorials in all of games, I think.
So you'll continue playing it then?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I've got a walking stick, and that's all I've ever wanted in a video game.
Hey, I'm playing Bloodborne. Why didn't you ask me what I thought?
Didn't you try to take on the Nether Beast at the very start of the game like a dozen times with your bare hands?
No? Yes.
Exactly. Anyway, Bloodborne aside, it's actually been kind of a sad week for Sony, as the PlayStation is now officially homeless.
Indeed, but before you go pouring hot soup into the HDMI port, which will make your console super broken by the way, don't despair. Sony simply called time on home, the social interaction thing that never really caught on.
Yep, and Ian made sure he was there when the lights officially went out. So here is his touching tribute to PlayStation Home.
PlayStation Home has been running for almost 7 years now, but today is the day that Sony are switching off the lights and closing the doors. I'm here at 7:05 UK time for the final hour of PlayStation Home, and I'm going to be there when they flick that switch and turn Home off. There's everyone congregating for the end of the world. Goodbye, cruel world! Goodbye! Whoa, that was an impressive dive. How much money did you spend? I would rather not think about it. Oh dear. Hey, was better than spending money on booze and cigarettes, lol. I don't think so. Goodbye, unhappy moose man. We all laughed at your sign in the early days. Turns out you were right. Turns out you were right. We've got 8 minutes left. Oh my god, 8 minutes left. What am I going to do with my final 8 minutes? Let's release a Chinese lantern into the sky for all our memories. PlayStation Home. Oh, I can see right up my nose. Oh, oh my god, that's kind of sad. That's a touching scene for the end of an end of a virtual world. A woman hugging a giant banana, who then runs off playing maracas, while a little mini man runs by in the background. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, this is kind of an anti-climax. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, brutal. And just like that, all life in PlayStation Home is snuffed out. They just flicked a switch and everyone was gone. Goodbye, PlayStation Home. Goodbye.
Good night, sweet prince.
And goodbye, sweet audience. That's all we have time for this week, but if that's left you hankering for more, please do like and subscribe for plenty more from Eurogamer. Where are you going?
Bloodborne!
Bloodborne, of course.
Wait around for one of these Assassin's Creed games, and they only go and announce 3 in one go.
I know it's one more than last year.
What are those guys up to? Making a lot of Assassin's Creed games, apparently. So, Assassin's Creed Chronicles China was a game that we knew about beforehand.
Yes.
We knew that was coming. We knew